Welcome in to Three to Hardaway, aka the three-man Jalen Weave, aka the best big three since LeBron D. Wade, and Bosh live on YouTube and anywhere you listen to a podcast, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, anybody podcasts. We are back. We took a quick break last week, and of course, a lot of things happened. So we'll get into some local legal issues. For me, since I'm in Memphis, but Sheedy's in Dallas and Tuka's in Phoenix. If you don't know who I am the walking bucket providing instant offense. It's your boy Savage. Up here, we got my guy, the coach on the sidelines, taking them to school on and off the court. When I say it's really Sheedy, it's really Sheedy. Sheedy, what's good?
Hey man, what's happening, man? Yeah, it's been a while since we've been on, man. I look forward to talking about sports, but sometimes sports gets derailed with other things as well. But good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it may be for you.
Yes, sir. We also got your favorite DJ, the sample man himself, Mr. Ted Shakir. Tuke, what's good?
What's popping, y'all? What's popping, man? I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was yesterday's years old when I found out that Friday was the prequel to Rush Hour.
Friday's the prequel to Rush Hour. What kind of explain that to me?
All right, so we all know that Smoke, and shout out to the I definitely tweet the video so I get credit. But apparently Smokey, of course, in Friday was a weed head, and he ended up getting clean, which is why we never saw him in another Friday. He ended up getting clean. We never knew his dad, but his dad was a cop. So he ended up following his father's footsteps, cleaning himself out, and becoming a cop in LA. So Friday is a prequel to Rush Hour.
Friday's a prequel to Rush Hour. That's crazy. And also,
wow.
Also,
I didn't expect that.
Trevor explain. Also, if you remember in Rush Hour, when he went to that pool bar, he was quickly able to identify the weed.
Come on now.
Ooh, smoking. He said nothing but a little cigarette. This nigga weed. And who would know that well except for Smokey? So, I mean, Smokey is Carter, Detective Carter, man.
I give you that.
We never know Smokey's real name.
We don't know Smokey's real name. We know his mama, though. His mama ain't got no money.
Never.
I just thought that was funny, man.
That's crazy because I just watched Friday 2 days ago. So it's fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So that's
shout out to Rush Hour 4 coming out though. Hopefully
Rush Hour 4 is coming out. That's crazy. I remember going to see Rush Hour in the theater as like a 7 or 8 year old. I'm old, man. That's crazy.
Hey man, if it ain't racist, I don't want to watch it.
Man, look.
If it ain't racist, I ain't watching it.
Hey, for those who are watching,
I know there's a basketball five.
Look, so yeah, we gonna get to basketball in a second though. But like Chris Rock had the video of him getting on Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. Like, look, man, comedy is meant to be inappropriate, man. It's meant to be inappropriate because that's what makes it good, man. There's some political mess woven into comedy, but that's what makes it enjoyable. So like the racism in Rush Hour is still funny to this day. I love Rush Hour. That's one of my favorite movies.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. When I tell my wife that I want to have Chinese food, I call it I need some Su Young. That's what I call it. I don't really care. I'll make sure she tweets it, as a matter of fact. So y'all don't think I'm lying. I swear to God.
All right, man. Since Tuke ain't got no trivia question this week, he gonna come back.
I do.
Oh, my bad. He got a trivia question. Go ahead, Tuke.
I actually got two on real quick. Because one was gonna be super easy. Which NBA team has the most players in the Hall of Fame?
It gotta be Lakers or Boston. I'm gonna say Boston.
Boston is correct. So I knew that was gonna be easy. So that's why I came back with the bye. Who was the first NBA player in history to win a championship with 3 different franchises?
I know it can't be Kawhi.
It's not Robert Horry, right? Okay.
Somebody before.
I want to say AC Green.
Actually, he was a teammate of Robert Horry for one of these.
AC Green?
Nah.
Dang. It's somebody on the
teammate of Robert
Somebody on the Rockies, right? Somebody on the Rockies.
It was a teammate of Robert Horry, but he did it before Robert Horry.
Somebody on the Rockies, correct?
Nah.
Not on the
Lakers?
Somebody, what he did, he win one for the Lakers in 2000.
So it ain't AC Green. Okay. Shoot.
Yeah, I don't know. This one's tough.
2000s. I'm trying to think about the Lakers in 2000s. Not Shaq or Kobe.
Samari, right?
He won one in 1996. That should be a
96.
giveaway right there.
96 was the Bulls.
Bulls.
Robert Ory. I mean, not Robert Ory. Ron Harper.
Nah,
No.
Not Rodman. Rodman. Pistons.
he was teammates with Rodman. Y'all super close.
Oh my god!
Dang, I don't know.
Teammate with Rodman. I'm trying to think of the Bulls roster from '96.
And once I say you gonna, and I don't want to
Harper, not Scotty, not Jordan, not Luke Longley, not Rodman.
Right.
Yeah, that's the part that kills me. Like all those players that you just named.
Not Horace Grant.
Horace Grant.
Yeah, I ain't Horace Grant. Grant, he left in like 94, 93. Oh my god. I feel like I know this and I'm mad.
Okay. He got his first one in 1989.
89.
He got his first one 89.
Is that Lakers or Pistons? Pistons. God, you don't. What's his name? What is his name? I can see him. I see him. It's gonna kill me. What's his name?
He's on the 2000 Lakers, and then he got 89.
Oh my god!
He was on the team. I don't think he played too much, but he was on the team.
What is his name? I know his
name.
Give me the initials.
J.
That's it.
JS.
JS.
John Sally.
Wow.
It was Pistons, Bulls, and Lakers. That's
wow.
Oh, I knew I was gonna pitch you.
You know what though? He came to my mind because I thought AC Green, because I thought it was him. I knew it was some dude who didn't play that much, but I was thinking about him, so that count for me. You know,
yeah, you can let it count. You let it count all you want. He didn't come to my mind, my cerebral, nothing. My sleep last night, no way. No way I'd have thought John Sally.
That's exactly who I thought of. Because I remember watching the Bulls documentary and him just talking through the midst of it, and then also in like other documentaries as well too. He used to be on Fox Sports, the best damn sports show.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. I give him that.
A good one. That's a good one.
That was a really good one.
That's a good one. I had to think about that one. That was a good one.
Yeah, so he literally won a ring in every decade, in 3 decades.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah.
Literally.
Yep. Yeah.
Damn, that's a good one. That was a good one. It made my brain itch, but I'll take it. All right, so on to more I'm gonna say quote unquote serious, because I mean at this point the news is kind of like somewhat died down, especially with Ja Morant coming out and stating that he is going to seek some help, given the tumultuous past couple of days, literally days and even weeks and months, going back to the situation with the 17-year-old kid, the thing with his mom at the mall, and then of course most recently the IG live post yesterday morning with him flashing the gun, and even going back even further when somebody tweeted at him and he was like, it's free to feel how hollow tips feel. A lot of gun related stuff is happening with Ja Morant. So the NBA ended up going out and saying we're going to do an investigation. About 30-45 minutes later, the NBA said they were going to suspend him, but then the Grizzlies PR team said they are going to allow him to spend time away from the team, which right now is crucial because when I last checked the standings, the Kings are right there. I think one game behind the Grizzlies, and the Grizzlies are literally without their best player right now. Can they continue to win games? Potentially, but I mean, the games coming up, the next 6 is tough. But right now, we'll get into that a little bit later. But just the Ja Morant news itself, reactions to what's going on with our guy, Ja Morant.
Blame Ja, man. Blame Ja. For me, and this is all honesty, man. This is what I'm seeing is a young man going through an identity crisis. And what I mean by that is that whether or not people want to say, oh, he from the suburbs, oh, he ain't from the hood. First of all, we're talking about this quote unquote suburbs in South Carolina. That's essentially Cordova to Memphis. And Savage, you can attest to this. Growing up, Cordova was known as one of the nicest places in Memphis. The mall out there was known as the better malls in Memphis. And now is one of the worst malls in Memphis. And now you got gangbangers and all kind of guys coming out of Cordova. I say that to say that the culture of street life has influenced our young guys to a point where it's kind of the most important thing, especially in this age of social media. So what I say by that is Ja Morant been in the league 3 years, right? 4 years, forgive me. And now he's finally about to see money that his family's lives are changed for forever. But at the same time, you're gonna have to deal with the, oh, you're changing, from your peers. You know what I'm saying? And in this day and age of social media, you gotta kind of seem like you're keeping it real in order to keep your core fan base, in order to keep your peers and so on from thinking you're not changing. However, I feel like it was a dumb move on his part to bring the gun on his social media, whether or not it was how small it is. Some people say it was a lighter. It is what it is. But the fact that you got all this attention on you, and you go on live. Apparently, it was late night. He had a strip club. You can see the strippers, and he was turning up, which is good. He probably went in his right mind, but at the same time, you got to be more aware of your surroundings and the fact that you got all these people, all these things coming after you with cases, and he did, she said, you did this, and you flashing a gun. That's kind of taunting people in a way. You kind of taunting us. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, he may think he innocent in all of this, which may be true because all of it are allegations. But you posting that gun ain't helping a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? So he's just struggling through that. Being a next year, he's gonna be $100 millionaire essentially. But you got to keep your street code. You got to be able to appeal to people that rock with you from the stump. And I think he's gonna struggle with that going forward mentally. You know what I'm saying? And I do want him to get the help that he deserves. And I hope his dad is able to say something, but apparently everybody's trying to talk to him. He's not listening. So it's something he's gonna have to figure out, or he's gonna be out the league. And that's something we could definitely talk about later.
I am from Cordova, Collierville, all them villes of Memphis. But I did graduate from a suburban school, so I ain't about to sit out here and flex like that. But hood code is, if you show me a gun, a flashing gun, that means you want the smoke, so to speak. And so from that perspective, he shouldn't have done it. We call it what it is. He shouldn't have done it. And I'll take it a step further. I wouldn't have been as upset with him doing this if it wasn't his live. If like somebody else was recording him in the club doing X, Y, Z. I'm not talking about the gun right now. I'm just talking about him being a young man. I wouldn't have been as upset. And knowing that it is him, that you are in control of your social media. That's one thing that I predicated my life on, I don't know, real long ago. Like, I'm about to age myself. But, you get to choose what you post. You get to choose when you go live. You get to choose all of these things. And so for you to choose to go live and to choose to have the gun with you, clearly using a strip club, ain't nobody patting you down. To brandish that weapon, it was just a dumb move. And I know moving forward, this is the first time we've seen him with this type of statement, how he feels about it. And this also goes to the point that I've made on LBR the other week. We don't give black men another chance. Once black men F up, we like, oh, well, it's over with. And I'm hoping that through this, even seeing what Nike has said, that they are supportive of whatever he's going through and still have his back. Like, these type of things we haven't seen in the past. So I'm hoping that it's promising for Ja Morant. I'm hoping it's promising for whatever he's going through, for why he feels like he needs a gun. And I'm not saying he doesn't need a gun, right? All of us can have guns. Let's just call it what it is. It's about brandishing in your image of who you are. And I think that thus lies in the issue. But you don't have to, Ja, you good, man. I promise you don't have to do all that, man. You don't, man. I feel like one of the most gangster people that I ever watched play basketball is Steven Jackson. If you know Steven Jackson is blood in, blood out. And he bangs with the best of them. And like, I'm not saying if social media was around, he wouldn't be flashing the gun, but I know he was carrying a few while he was doing what he do. And probably still does. And in that vein, I was thankful for Jalen Rose as well, too. He had a really great math problem. You can either add, subtract, multiply, divide when it comes to your life. And that's just really what life is about. You don't get to choose your family, but you get to choose your friends, because your friends and who surrounds you are your choice. And those are a reflection and image of who you are as a person. So huge knock on Memphis Grizzlies and Ja Morant at this time to do that. But I'd rather it be now, and I'd rather it happen and not later on when there's trying to be some type of run in the playoffs. Of course, there's other injuries and stuff that are happening and stuff is going on with the team. This team needs their leader. And whatever space that he needs to go go and find himself to become that leader, they're going to need that quickly in Memphis. So I'll adjourn this meeting at that time. At this time, excuse me.
So, first and foremost, I don't have a problem with Ja Morant going to the club. He's 23 years old. He's single. Any club, it could be a nightclub, it could be a strip club. He can drink. He's of age to drink. He can have his own gun. Like, all these things are within his rights as a citizen in the United States of America. That's number one. Number two is when you have situations and issues that hinder your team, that hinder your organization, that hinders, to be honest, you, that's when I have a problem. If I can relate to something, I can compare it to like whether somebody is, partakes in alcohol, partakes in, smoking, partakes in, whatever it is. Too much of something can be a bad thing. And at some point you have to know when you can put a stop to whatever it is that can be problematic to you. Right. And so Ja Morant, he has to realize that you are in the middle of a legal situation, whether it happened or not. You don't need anything else tarnishing your image. A lot of what happened that's come out about Ja Morant has happened last summer. Like the thing with the 17-year-old, the thing with his mom, that happened last year. So that has already happened. You can't change it, whatever. The thing with the Pacers that we didn't talk about, the Pace situation, that happened a couple of weeks ago. But again, they investigated, nothing happened. Cool, moving on. Literally, the report about, not the report, but the Instagram live of Ja Morant showing the gun came like 2 days later from the the report about the gun. Which, aside, the lady, I forgot her name, but bad journalism on her part by saying that Ja Morant initially pointed the gun at the kid when he didn't point the gun at the kid. So I know
information that definitely changed out of her mouth.
Right. Yeah.
No, information was straight up wrong.
Right. Like, yeah. So that's bad journalism. Like, yes, Ja Morant has situations and problems, but get the facts straight first. Don't tweet something out and try to further harm his image than what it already is. The man already down. Don't kick him while he's down. But anyway, yeah. So back to Ja Morant. Ja Morant, he has some growing up to do, and I think he will. I mean, I think Ja Morant is a smart enough man. I mean, you went to college, you played ball, you are a great businessman. I mean, your shoe is selling like hotcakes. He had Mount Twelski at the All-Star game. People want his shoes. He's now with Powerade. He went from, I forget the other drink that he was a part of, but it was a Powerade subsidiary. But the thing is, Ja Morant he's building momentum towards being to be honest, a superstar. He's gonna be the face of the league very quickly. And so what comes with that is, like Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. Something that LeBron James realized early on. Now, LeBron James is a huge outlier. He's a chosen one in terms of like just basketball and off the court pursuits. But Ja Morant, I just want somebody somebody that's not us, obviously, because he don't know us, but like somebody with enough power to say, "Hey, John, let's bring it in, man." I don't know who his OG is, and I'm gonna compare it to like Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose, older brothers. I mean, Took, you know about Derrick Rose and just his story in general, but like his brothers made sure, no, you are not going to be involved in any activity. Just play basketball, get the hell out of Chicago or the streets of Chicago, and do you. He went to college here in Memphis, and Derrick Rose, quiet as church mouse off the court, but on the court, you feel him. I'm not saying. You said what?
I've heard some things.
I mean, yeah, you heard some things, right? But it's kept under wraps though.
Right.
It's not because Derrick Rose
never made national.
Right. Yeah. Not because Derrick Rose is on IG Live. Granted, it wasn't out at the time, but keep it under wraps. Like, you can do you, but don't let it get out. Like, protect yourself. And he needs an OG to like keep it under wraps. I know a couple years ago, I think it was Chris Carter, had an NFL symposium for new players. And he was saying, get you a fall man. If you got to get you a fall man, Ja, get you a fall man that knows, hey, I got to take one for my guy and just keep it moving. But he just got to be smarter about it. And I think this is what the responsibility is for Ja and for the fans. So for the fans, it's our responsibility to not chastise him. I mean, of course, you can correct behavior, obviously, but now's the opportunity for us as a community of basketball fans, whether you're in Memphis or somewhere else, to bring him in and say, all right, we still believe in you, but you got to change your behavior. You got to. Like, now you can't be the 19-year-old kid at Murray State. You can't be the 20-year-old rookie in the NBA. You got to be a grown man. You got a daughter, man. You got a daughter. Your daughter is counting on you. She's relying on you. And for you to brandish a gun to the masses, what image are you portraying as a man, as a father? You know what I'm saying? So, again, you can keep your hood friends. Like, that's fine. But know when enough is enough, which is all that I'm saying. So our responsibility is for him to take care of his business. I got you too. And then his responsibility, again, we're going to accept him and you know, hug on him and love on him, but he got to mature. Like, we can't make him get out of this phase in life. This is a decision that he has to make. And if he doesn't make that decision or make that change, he going to mess around and be out the league. I tweeted it a couple days ago. I was like, you big. Like, Ja is huge, but you are not bigger than the betterment of the organization. You are not bigger than the betterment of the NBA. There are countless examples of NBA players who messed themselves up because they did dumb shit. We've seen it happen time and time again, and it will continue to happen. My prayer, my hope, and my expectation is that Ja Morant will figure it out from here. He's getting the help that he needs mentally, in terms of like his mental health. So it appears to be on track, and I think he will continue to grow.
So I just want to say one thing, and y'all know, like, my passions is like media, like radio, DJing, podcasting, and such, right? So I find, you know, media quotes and other media things to help keep me pushing. But it's one thing that Malcolm X said. Let me put it up. And he said, the media is the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and the guilty innocent. And that's power, because they control the minds of the masses. I say that to say that I'm happy all of this is happening while Ja's young, but you need to be aware of the game you're playing. And what I mean by that is that, to me, Tab Shakir, Allen Iverson is the most influential NBA player to ever come into the NBA, of course, obviously. But the way that the media treated him after he missed one practice because his brother died, that was a downfall of Allen Iverson. Nobody knew that the Sixers wanted him to go to practice literally after his brother died. We just say for podcast purposes, if God forbid, if something was happening to Sheedy, would me and you want to immediately come back to Pod Savage?
No.
Come on now. And that's essentially what happened to Iverson. But because he missed that practice, we got that infamous practice. You talking about practice? The media drove that, and that literally was a downfall of Allen Iverson to the point where he's not in most of people top 4, top 5 influential NBA players. Influence is the key word. So I need Ja to realize that the way that you portray yourself in the media is dangerous. It's dangerous because this could be a 2-game suspension right now, but a week from now, it could also be you won't be playing for the rest of the season. So I just really hope that he understands the kind of game he's in. I know he's a youngin. He's going to hopefully he gets his ish together. But what we've seen, like I said, is an identity crisis that I really pray that he figures out.
And I think that he will. You mentioned Jalen Rose earlier, Sheedy, and another thing that he says, aside from the add, subtract, multiply, and divide, is that hoopers want to be rappers, rappers want to be hoopers. And I think in this case, Ja Morant is just like, that's something that a rapper would do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm gonna get on IG Live, flex my ice, flex my money, flex my gun. I'm in the strip club, got girls in the background twerking. That's what they do. And another thing that I've learned just being an adult, a man in today's society, is that at some point that lifestyle, it ends. It's literally going to end at some point. You can't be 50 years old. I mean, you can be, but you can get looked at crazy, but you can't be a 50-year-old in the club, flashing your ice, flashing your grill, the women, the money, the guns. Like, at some point, it's going to have to end. Whether it's on your terms or society's terms. And right now, it appears to be on society's terms. Now, I don't know what the PR team is doing right now to prepare him in terms of like what is life after the situation. But I hope and imagine that he ain't doing what he's doing anymore. That's my hope.
Yeah, and if I could just, I guess, piggyback on what both of you have said as well. One of the most important things that Ja Morant is, actually the most important thing that he is right now, is a father. Not an athlete, nothing like that, but he's a father. And what these kids have access to the point that you were talking about too, as well, to the media, what they have access to see and be portrayed. And I could not imagine that young girl having to go to school and her friends or other people taunting her because of what's coming out about her father. You know, you think even as close back as Russell Westbrook, right, where his wife was just defending him about how their kids have to go to school, and he's talked about Westbrook and everything else, and it's like, dang, yes, like we should not be able to do this, but instead, but we don't talk about how Russell Westbrook was giving all these millions of dollars to people for everything that he was doing. We don't talk about how Ja Morant gives back to the community countless amounts of times in Memphis. The problem with media is media knows that we will tune into things that are bad and criminal. They know that. And whenever you watch shows, and that's one thing I learned about journalism, the start of the show and the majority of the show is about negative things. The positive things always happen towards the end of any newscast or what have you, because they know that's not going to truly draw the attention of people. They need something to get you. And unfortunately, it's the behavior that shouldn't be seen. So my prayers and thoughts to his daughter. And I hope that, there are angels protecting her from any words or any actions people feel that they have to do because of what Ja has done.
Is any publicity still good publicity?
I like that you always mention any publicity is good publicity, because there's an opportunity for Ja Morant to come out of this. And I forgot who compared. I think it was our guy Zach on Twitter. He was saying that Ja Morant is becoming like Michael Vick. Michael Vick, if you are old enough to remember, everybody, he had the dog fighting ring up in Virginia, and of course he spent time in jail. But when he came out of prison, he turned it all the way around. Got signed by the Eagles, had a resurrection with the Eagles, and then went on to do things with NFL Network. And now, Michael Vick is loved. He does work with PETA and other animal organizations. So that bad publicity did happen, but I think it's a matter of how do you react from this publicity. You have an opportunity to take advantage of it, the bad publicity, and make it into to be honest, a great positive. And he already has a good relationship with the community and I guess with the media. But it's bad publicity, but it can be good.
Yeah, it's all about how you bounce back. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It just is converted. And so how do you convert this bad publicity? Learn me something. Just, something real quick from the dome. You feel me?
Jackson in this thing.
He gotta just, he's gonna come out this and have a great story to tell afterwards. And that's what we need to glorify when it comes out. And if as long as we're doing that, we're doing our part. If he's gonna do his part, we gotta do our part. Even though we're not big time, we're going to report the good stuff. The way we reported good about Russell Westbrook and everyone else in the NBA that we know about. Let's just continue to uplift the black men when we can.
Trevor says Newton's laws of motion. I don't even remember. All I know is E equals MC squared, dog. I ain't a science person. I have no idea. All right. So I know y'all going to get into the Grizzlies upcoming week on Starting Five. Speaking of which, shout out to Starting Five. Y'all moving over to Bluff City Media. Give them a follow on social media. So they're doing big things over there, man. So shout out to the LBR family. But they do have quite a trip of games coming up. They got the Clippers in LA, Lakers in LA. So both of those games are going to be without Ja Morant. So Tyus Jones is going to earn his money this upcoming week. Then after that, they got the Warriors at home. I'm not sure if Steph will be back. Do you know?
He should be. I think he's planning to come back this week.
Yeah, he's coming.
So, Wiggins. No, Wiggins still out. Wiggins still out.
Yeah, they saving Wiggins for the playoffs, I think. But
no, I thought Wiggins was
personal.
Yeah, I think it's a personal reason. Yeah, he gonna come back whenever
he
can.
Okay. Yeah. It's like family issues. Okay. So it must be something serious.
Because I remember seeing him on the bench, I think. I thought someone on the bench one of them games.
No, he good. Just prayers out to Wiggins, whatever he going through with his family.
For sure. All right, so Warriors, then they got Luka and Kyrie, and then they got them again in Dallas, and then they got Sheedy's Miami Heat. So that 6th game is tough. And like I mentioned before, the Grizz are a game and a half up on the Kings, and the Kings, I mean, they playing good basketball right now. So you could mess around and be in 3rd spot, which means you get an unfavorable first round matchup. So hopefully Ja Morant's suspension, he says back today, according to P Sharp. Steph is back today. But hopefully the Ja Morant suspension or no time away from the team isn't terribly long. You should be able to still win that game against the Lakers and maybe even the Clippers too. Clippers don't play defense these days. So we're going to see. But if y'all want to hear more about Grizzlies for this week, tune in to Starting 5 over on Bluff City Media these days. All right. So speaking of NBA teams, I wanted to kind of get into the post-deadline teams in terms of like what's going on with the teams that either made a big acquisition via trade or free agency or the buyout market or whatever. So going down the list, the first team that is up that I see is Tuke's Phoenix Suns. Kevin Durant, I did watch the Kevin Durant, his first game, where Book had like 37 and KD had like 25 and like 23 minutes. When I last checked the score, I look right now, they were losing to the Mavericks. But I mean, thing about Kevin Durant is a piece. Like you just fit him into the puzzle, and it's gonna work one way or another. So I watched one game, but I haven't watched them since. But what y'all thinking of the Suns right now?
KD and Devin Booker both got 30 right now.
What quarter is it?
Both got 30 right now. They still losing to the Mavs by 3, but like I said, at this point, 10 minutes left, they both got 30. But I'm liking what I see. I'm loving it. Like Booker's mid-range game is crazy. Like you sometimes do gotta bet the under on whether or not he's gonna hit 2 threes or not.
I told you, man, he's the top. He's the one like mid-range post player. Him and DeMar are right there. But for me, Booker is Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant too. You right? Touche. You right.
And one like I actually been watching the Suns before KD even playing like this, especially last couple of games before KD played, and like Aiden is fine that mid-range. Like Aiden is firing away that 20-footer, like, and that's dangerous. That's dangerous, y'all. So yes, I'm saying the Phoenix Suns are the most dangerous team in the league right
now. All right, yeah. I think it's hard to not say that too, because I mean, Kevin Durant is easily the best scorer, quite possibly that we've ever seen. But definitely the best scorer in the league now. Whether or not he's going to win a scoring title or not, that's not going to happen. But when you have a 7-foot person that can score from the 3, the mid-range and low, and can create his own shot and can go through a double team, it's ridiculous. And you got Devin Booker on the other side, Chris Paul's serving them up. And then Ayton is catching what he can. And I mean, they had a kid, I know I'm not going to say his name right. Whoever their forward is, a Kogi or something like that. Kogi.
Rock with him.
Playing some great role-playing basketball, to be honest. I think I checked in his stats the other day. He had like 20 points midway through the 4th quarter. I'm like, man, who is this dude? Why is he turning up like this? But it's something to be said. I feel like the culture of what the Suns had at the beginning of this year to even think about December when, Booker was down, right? And, this is a Chris Paul-led team now at 38 with terrible back problems and Ayton still trying to figure it out. We've seen a really drastic change in the Suns this entire season. And they're going to be dangerous, but I'm still not going to buy that jersey for 2 because I don't think they're going to win the finals. So,
hey, if you buy one jersey, I need you to buy 2 that Charles Barkley KD jersey. That jersey is tough, man. That's a tough jersey, man. The purple one.
Okay, I was about to say the purple or the
black.
I
need you to get that purple one for 2. That's the one. I mean, 2 might have his own preference, but I
think no. Yeah, man. But yeah, like I said, adding KD to anything to your point is he fits any puzzle. Period.
That's it right there. For those who are not on YouTube, yeah, that
This
jersey.
This is the
that's
one
the
I
one.
want, Chidi.
That's
This
the one.
is the one.
That is
Not
the one.
This one, the black one.
I got you. I got you.
I got you.
But yeah, man. The Suns look good. I mean, I put the Suns in the same category as the Mavericks. Like, what happens right now in the regular season? They just made a catastrophic change in terms of, like, it's a huge change. So that what happens right now does not matter as long as they just tread water and make the playoffs. And then once you get in the playoffs, it's about who you got. It's by personnel. And they got Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Devin Booker carried these dudes a couple years ago. You adding Kevin Durant to Devin Booker in his prime, like, nah, that's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a problem. On the flip side, this team is not performing as well, but we have a young man by the name of Mikal Bridges that is his value is up all the way up there because he's scoring like 50, 48, 47. Now, the Nets ain't winning games, but Mikal Bridges is looking like he was as advertised as far as, like, the Grizzlies was trying to trade the house for him. And I'm like, damn, imagine having Mikal Bridges with Ja and Jaren and Bane, man. But and then Ben Simmons. Look, okay, so I'm the Ben Simmons fan, right?
Yeah, everyone stop talking. Take down notes. We want to hear about this Ben Simmons guy.
No, and I'm with you, bro. So I share your pain.
Okay. So two.
It's two of you. Yeah,
two with me. So
this.
Ben Simmons, man. So he apparently they shutting him down, I think, or whatever.
Again, was it the fourth season he's been shut down? Was it first pick? I'm sorry.
I became a Ben Simmons fan because of what I saw, not only athletically, but on the court. I didn't care that he didn't shoot. I mean, I cared, like, bro, you wide open, shoot the ball. But what he does everywhere else, or what he did everywhere else, was so elite. He was an all defensive player. He was an all-star that didn't shoot threes. Like, his post game was immaculate. He can attack the basket. He can rip you, go down court, dunk it, all that stuff. And for some reason, he's not doing that now. I mean, I don't know if it's like it might be a combination of the back injury, knee injury, mental health. It's just a perfect storm of just a disaster. And so I honestly don't know what will help him, because anywhere he goes, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be like, it's Ben Simmons, he trash, or he can't shoot, or, whatever. So, yeah. Again, I'm on a hiatus from the Ben Simmons fandom. Please respect my decision and my privacy. Toot, the floor is yours.
I'm with you, bro. It is making it's hard for us to defend him at this point. Like, and we saw, like, I can use the case that when all three of them, Kevin Durant, Kyrie, and Ben Simmons was on the court together, they were playing some really good basketball. That's literally the only case that I can make. And for the fact that the Nets shut them down, man, it's something mental, bro. I don't think it's nothing physical at this point. He'd have played most of the season. I think it's all mental. Hey, this man. Hey, man, we want Ben to do good. We want Ben to, but like I said, if you're going to get shut down, then damn it, we got to shut down.
I mean, he might need to go to Taiwan and do a 3-point contest with Dwight Howard.
Look, I said for the longest, whatever, Ben Simmons going to go there, he wants to be a Los Angeles Laker. I said that maybe 3 years ago. And I still believe that he's trying to fight his way to LA one way or another. LeBron will be gone in about 2 years. Maybe he can pull up in LA. I don't know. But it's frustrating. But we ain't here to talk about Ben Simmons. Again, Mikal Bridges playing out of his mind right now. Even though they're not, when they actually dropped to what is it?
Now they came. I'm about to say they definitely came back the other night against the Celtics. That was the biggest
they did
turnaround ever. And I thought he was hurt, and then he came back out. Listen.
Right. So they're at 6 right now out east. So right now, that's crazy. The first round matchup will be against the Sixers. That'll be something. But anyway, another team that made a significant move, the Clippers, man, they brought in Westbrook, and it ain't looking nice. It ain't looking good, man. So are y'all still feeling the same way about the Clippers as a competitor? Because not only is Westbrook not finishing games, B, they're like 1-4 with him, something like that. If they won a game, I can't even remember. But the Clippers ain't playing defense right now. So I just want to know y'all thoughts about the Clippers.
They're gonna be all right.
Okay. You sure?
They got too much talent and the coaching. Even though Ty Lue did sub out Russ, I guess it was for the best of what he saw. I mean, like I said, we've given credit to Ty Lue for being a pretty good coach. So I mean, I'm not gonna knock him for that one, but I think it's still 5 games in.
Yeah.
So
and Kawhi looked good, man. Kawhi looks good, really good.
Kawhi looks good, and Paul George, you got to get his shit together, but it's just on the defensive end. Like defensively, before Russ got there, I mean, we can't put this all on Russ either.
Yeah,
but they were playing good defense as well, and now it's like I think they're just trying to figure things out. But the Clippers gonna be straight.
You're right. I can't put it on Russ, but I can't put that turnover on him. He was wide open, and I mean that was a game killer right there. But to the point that you made, though, T. Lue is a great coach, and there's going to be times where he's just not going to be able to play Russell Westbrook. Like I get it. Like, hey, we're going to let Russ beat Russ, blah 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 blah, all that other stuff. It sounds good. You have to say these things in order. Well, during that time, I feel like it was necessary for him to say those things. But that doesn't mean he needs to play him any amount of time, to be honest. I think the Terrence Mann, Bones Highland combo is better for what the Clippers have instead of that. And actually it was Paul George. I feel like they really coerced the Clippers to bring Russell in, and I just don't think it's a good piece. But again, it's been a couple games. We'll figure it all out. But I also don't think when playoff time comes, we'll see a lot of him. I think Ty Lue knows Bones Highland and Terrence Mann are, well, first of all, Terrence Mann is one of the reasons why you made the runs that you've made with Terrence this team.
Man, he hooping.
Yeah. And so, I mean, you got to respect that. I mean, yes, there's respect to Russell Westbrook. He's a former MVP, all that stuff. Yeah, Hall of Famer player. But if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. And we're trying to win a championship here. So I think that the minutes will die down for him. And I think Bones Highland may still be hurt or something like that. And I think that might be another thing too. But I'm not blaming this on Westbrook. I think they've also ran into some great stiff competition too, being those Kings. I think twice, as a matter of fact.
Twice, yep. Mm-hmm.
And both have been high-scoring games. So I really think it's
one was a record-breaking game.
Yes. Talk about no D. But yeah, I think they'll figure it out. This team will make a run. Kawhi's been out the playoffs too long. It's time to bring him back in and see what happens.
Speaking about the playoffs, let's talk about Mr. Ted Shakir's Los Angeles Lakers, man. So since we last talked, LeBron James.
Man, how many teams I got?
I mean, this your team, man. You said they're gonna be in the play, which they might be. That's right, because I mean, right now out west, the play-in is as follows: Timberwolves, Clippers, Jazz, and Pelicans. The Lakers are one game out of the play-in, and I'll be honest, I'm kind of concerned because like the Pelicans are trash. I'm sorry, they trash. They just are. I tweeted out a couple days ago: do the Pelicans trade Zion or BI? First of all, both of them get injured all the time. Zion, again, nothing against Zion. When Zion plays, he's an amazing player. But at some point, you got to be like, okay, you playing 30 games here, 10 games here, 15 games there. At some point, it's like, okay, what are we doing that's going to actually help us win these games and have a sustainable playoff team? So
which one would you trade?
I would trade. So here's the thing. My fear would be.
Yeah, I got him, cheating. I got him.
So I asked this question before, but my fear is that if I'm the Pelicans GM and I trade Zion, let's say to New York or whatever, my fear is that he will miraculously get healthy and he gonna be playing games, kind of like Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid spent like 2 years hurt his first couple years in the league, and now he's been obviously an MVP caliber player. My fear is that Zion will become that. However, the way that his game is that going to age well? He not going to be jumping 30, 40 feet in the air at 6'7", 300 pounds into his 30s. I'm 6'4", 210. I'm not jumping out the gym. You know what I'm saying? He got a whole 100 more pounds and 3 more hits on me. You can't carry that weight forever, brother. You can't do it. And so that's why, as we say on this podcast, this is a thing we just say. The value is high right now.
Mm-hmm.
How much can you get for Zion? I like Brandon Ingram. He was hooping the other day. And I think he's a building block you can build around. You got Trey Murphy, you got Alvarado, you got McCollum, you got pieces. Zion, I would assume, can get you some first round picks, depending on who believes in him. So I'm gonna say I would trade Zion, but I'm scared. That's what I would say.
Who would you trade to?
Zion, for those simple reasons. Value's high. Get what you can. The Pelicans still got a good core that they building. It's just the fact that your star that you spend the first round on ain't been able to play 60 games, 70 games in 3 years, you know? So trade him. It's an idiot out there. Rudy Gobert got 5 first rounders, excuse me. Somebody get a bag to Zion, for Zion.
You know, it's crazy. I actually think it's the opposite. I think I would trade Zion, but I think the Pelicans organization would trade Brandon Ingram before Zion because I think they have so much to the point that we were making so much invested in Zion.
And they just paid him too. They just paid him.
So. I think that to answer the question, I think BI, and I love BI. BI, when he's not hurt, again, a private selection, Kevin Durant, can get you a lot of points in bunches until his Achilles goes out. So I'm going to say they would trade BI first and keep Zion.
That makes sense too.
And I think one of them, they got to pick one because both of them get hurt. You can't have 2 hurt all-stars constantly and not be succeeding. So, but anyway, we get off topic, man. Lakers.
Yeah, my fault. Yeah.
Lakers. So, 2, are they still making the play-in?
Yeah.
Okay. Who getting out then? Pelicans getting out?
The Jazz. Because they got one of the tougher schedules left in the NBA.
The Jazz do? Let me see.
Like, if you look up strength of schedule, I think the Lakers are actually up there too, but you're asking me who do I trust between this Lakers and this Jazz, and I'm still going with the Lakers because they're more motivated to still get Bron back, hopefully within a month, you know, around the 1st of April, maybe, you know, April 1st, you know.
The Jazz, the Jazz got 5 games. They on the road right now. They just lost to the Thunder. This is the next 5 road games. Thunder, Mavericks, my Magic, you know what I'm saying? Magic, Hornets, and then the Miami Heat. Hornets, they've been kind of playing better though. They've been competing.
Yeah.
And then the Miami Heat. Then you come home, it ain't getting no better because you got Boston in your house, you got Sacramento in your house, you got 71-point Dame in your house, you got Giannis in your house. Then you go out to Sacramento, and you bring home Kevin Durant. God, hey, you.
All right, so right. Savage, check this out too. So I'm gonna read out the remaining strength of schedule from you know what I'm saying. This is the hardest.
Okay.
Toronto, Phoenix, San Antonio, Utah, then Sacramento. So Sacramento may start taking L's. We'll see. And then we go to the easiest, like literally for the rest of the season, they got the easiest schedule, which maybe play into the media, role with Ja Morant, but the Grizzlies got the easiest schedule remaining so far. Then it's the Cavs, New Orleans, Oklahoma City, and quote unquote my Lakers. So the schedule is for the Lakers kind of pretty easy according to what these fans are.
Right, and I think that the schedule, I think to what you're speaking of, is based upon the wins and losses of the remaining teams, possibly.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, the Lakers started off the season like in a gauntlet of teams.
Yeah.
And so it does make sense that the pendulum does swing back in their favor.
Yeah. Grizzlies too. They're tough.
Yes, especially and the Grizzlies as well. The only issue is who's available to play. And I think that is what's going to hurt. And I honestly think, man, I think the Blazers sneak in to the play-in scenario. They're only a half game behind the Lakers.
Yeah.
The Thunder, I just think the Thunder are going to have enough, but I think Damian Lillard, I'm going to trust Damian Lillard at the same exact record point. I'll take Damian Lillard over SGA. I'll take Damian Lillard's team over SGA's team to be in the play-in scenario.
Man. Hey, I started laughing because I saw a video yesterday. Y'all know when you catch the ball, you kind of pop your finger.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that happened to AD. He caught the ball too hard.
Yeah, I saw that. He jammed.
No. But he started limping. Go watch the video again. So I was saying it's funny you said that. That's why I started laughing. Because he started limping on a finger.
As an Anthony Davis supporter, it's
you supporting a lot of 6'11" guys that don't do the NBA well. I'll tell you that.
So one, I saw that video too. So I'm just that's one. But two, we ain't been on since Jaren Jackson baptized that man on the tip slam back home.
Talk about it.
And he also was like, like so I gotta reevaluate my player fandom right now. I gotta find somebody new because right now it ain't AD been hooping though, but still it's just speaking of AD, how you get dunked on and then you out the next game, man. Like LeBron out.
His feelings were hurt.
Yeah, I was about to say hurt feelings.
Her feelings kept him out of
If I would have saw a tweet that said Anthony Davis out in parentheses hurt feelings.
Hurt feelings. Man, they're going the send them there is coach's decision. By the way, decision. Okay. That's all they got from the drop down box.
You need to sit out one. You and your feelings right now. I got you.
Do not play.
Damn it, Dalvin.
Well, yeah, man. So I'm gonna run through the standings real quick as they stand all the way down to the play-in. So out west, Nuggets still at number 1. I think they locking that in. They gave the Grizzlies their work, and it's a 6-game lead, so they pretty much solidified that. I think for them, the only thing that they will hope for is like if they make it to the finals, they want that home court advantage then. And right now, they are a game back of the Bucks. The Bucks been hooping too. They lost the other day, but 16 in a row. Jesus Christ.
And yeah. I watched the game they played without Giannis. They were looking like the best team. So I'm like, damn.
Yeah, they got Jay Crowder, Drew Holiday, of course. Grayson Allen been hooping.
So 6 threes or something like that.
Yeah, he out there hooping. So Nuggets, Grizzlies, Kings, Suns, Warriors, Mavericks. That's the top 6 to play in. Timberwolves, who've been playing better basketball without Cat. Clippers, Jazz, and Pelicans are the play-in as it stands. And then right outside the play-in out west, you got Lakers, Thunder, and Blazers within a half game of each other. So I want to reiterate, the play-in was a great idea by the NBA because it makes basketball meaningful, all basketball meaningful at the end of the season. Out east is again Milwaukee, Boston be losing games at random sometimes. But I'm like, damn, y'all just don't want to play today. Like, what's going on?
Yo, like I've noticed this whole pickup, like, all right, Jason Tatum doesn't play well, Jaylen Brown plays well thing, right? But there was a night Jason Tatum was off. And this might be one of the most recent games for sure. And when he is off, I mean, it's abysmal.
It's like Kobe. It's like, damn, man, make a shot.
Yes, it is. And so I mean, this still the second best team in the East, if not the first best team, when it's all said and done. But I mean, the Bucks are, they're everything prescribed right now. And again, like you said too, without Giannis,
they still good. Like they still good. Like I said, Phoenix earlier, it's the scariest team, and I'm a hold to it.
I would love Phoenix and Milwaukee again.
I want it.
I would love it.
I need it.
I would love it.
I need it.
I would love that. So Milwaukee, Boston, Philadelphia, who've been playing better recently. Cavaliers kind of been falling off a little bit. I think it's just a matter of just the youth catching up with them. They're still a good team, but I think I said it earlier in the season. They got to take their hits early for like a year, and then next year will be the year they turn up. Sheedy's New York Knicks. Hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen, Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. Look, Julius Randle, my fellow left-handed player, slawed all the way out in the 3-point contest. But that man can shoot threes during the game for whatever reason. I don't know. But they playing good basketball.
They won like 7 or 8.
8 in a row. 9-1 last 10 games. I'm not sure if it's
real.
That
threw on the heat, man.
I'm not sure if it's real, but they look like a fun team to watch.
I remember earlier this season, I was like, watch out for them, and then they went on like a slump. So I was like, but it's like they done found it back. They really found it back, and the fact that like they got go-to scores now makes the Knicks very dangerous.
And what they're not talking about out in the NBA media is RJ Barrett be on the bench. They benching him like in the 4 quarters. So to me, I'm like, is they gonna trade him? He just got paid.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's a reasonable contract for a player of his caliber. But like, if I'm them, I got Brunson, I got Randall, I got Mitchell Robinson playing good basketball. I got Quinn Grimes. So it's like, if you can off RJ Barrett and get something for him, like maybe a veteran or something to go with it, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Because what they got that heart, don't they? That's what they traded for.
Yeah, Josh Hart. I'm not playing RJ Barrett. I mean, I'm just not.
Yeah, he's gonna get himself a great contract with the New York Knicks.
Absolutely.
I feel like I feel like, sorry, not to cut you off
wait.
there, but I think what as my K teams, what happened with the Kings with De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk meeting back up, right?
Josh
in Sacramento
Brunson
needs to be happening and stay.
So would you? So RJ Barrett with Zion?
Hey, listen, I don't. Might as well. Oh, if they got Brandon Ingram
to New York. Hey, hold on. Sign me up for that. Sign me up for that.
Oh, that's a key destination.
Hey,
I'm gonna do that over the summer.
What's the day? Today is March 5th. I'm gonna mark this day down just in case we come back to this.
Yeah,
because I would not be mad at Ingram for RJ Barrett and a lot. I mean, obviously you get more for Ingram in this case, but I take RJ Barrett topping whoever else they want.
Whatever else made the money work. Because what hinders BI and Zion is how much Zion plays close to the rim. Julius Randle ain't that type of player. Clearly, I mean that man just dropped 40 plus against the Heat, so I already know what it is. Yeah. And so he can stretch the floor a lot more. Mitchell Robinson, he there, but he can, dip it down to him. But Brandon Ingram like them bright lights.
Hey, Shitty. Brandon Ingram to play with a couple of the players on the Knicks already.
Josh Hart,
Julius Randle.
And play good. And play good with him.
Play well.
Again, I'm marking this date just in case. I'm marking this date just in case. Look, I got this day, and I got Karl Anthony Towns on speed dial because first episode he was like, "Look, Cat, you might have to trade him to get them picks back." Just saying.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Yeah, Knicks at 5, Nets at 6. The Nets, they just like a more fun team right now. They just cohesive. They losing, but still, I feel like Brooklyn is back where they need to be in terms of like just less drama around them. 7, the Miami Heat. Hawks at 8. Hawks been playing a little bit better. I saw Murray, but I don't believe in them. Raptors coming up, and then Washington is at 10. Outside is a game and a half. I think the play-in is locked for the East, I think, in my opinion. I don't think Chicago gonna make it, but it's Bulls and then Pacers, and then it's like a big drop between there with the Magic, Hornets, and the Pistons. So, but yeah. Shady, real quick.
I don't know.
Wait. I'm listening.
Now I gotta go back to the
I'm listening.
Our first ones. There's that one guy that always says he's gonna make his team a playoff team.
Who that?
That's Patrick Beverly. So he don't miss the playoffs.
Man.
I mean the Bulls are not that far behind to be in the play-in scenario.
Washington playing better though. I don't know if Washington gonna give it up. They've been playing better.
And the reason why I bring this argument up is that because Took just mentioned the Raptors have one of the harder schedules remaining.
But they be playing better too though. They been playing good.
And
I mean,
let me say this real quick because I actually watched for parlay purposes. I actually watched the Raptors and the Wizards game yesterday. Wizards ain't playing no defense.
They not.
And it was embarrassing for me to watch. I say that to say that the Bulls, if they can get their ish together, and you know what I'm saying, let me find a strength of schedule too.
The Bulls 3.
So the Bulls are actually in the middle, right behind Washington, so they can go tip the tap. If you
did they play Washington coming up? Let me see. I look it up.
No, they played them yesterday.
They play them again.
Chicago. They played them like a couple times already.
Okay, they done playing them. Okay.
Yeah. And I think Chicago won. Or did they split?
They might have split. I can't see. I gotta scroll. I do some scrolling. I'll look it up real quick. Go ahead.
But now with Chicago is like Pat Bev may be on to something, and with the way that from what I saw from Washington. I came into the season hoping for a better team, and what I saw last night was it wasn't it. Like the Raptors did whatever they wanted, and then the fact that you leaving what's my guy named Van Vliet open 3 times in crucial moments of the game. Nah, I can't rock with that.
So the Washington they won January 11th, and then they lost. They lost in February. So the more recent one they lost.
Gotcha.
But they played. Let me see last 5 games. Okay, so they played in October. They lost. They split, basically. They split 2.
And I will say this: the Raptors' schedule coming up. You're at them. They're on the road at Denver, at Clippers, at Lakers, then again against Denver, Oklahoma City, Minnesota, at Milwaukee. And then take a break against the Pacers and the Pistons. So they have a tough schedule coming up, and that's why I say the Bulls may be able to make that, but I also had the Raptors making the playoffs, so I don't want to go against my word from the start of the season.
So man, I think the East is set, but I think the West. I think anything can
Wild
happen.
West.
Yeah, I think anything can happen. Really, from about 2 to all the way down to the play-in, I think anything can happen right now, especially with Ja being out for at least the next 2 games. So, all right, gentlemen, anything else we get back here?
No, you were probably about to ask me about the Heat, unfortunately.
Yeah, what's up with the Heat? I pop my headphone out. Sir, Miami Heat.
I was silent. That's how we were during the trade deadline. Silent. And so, well, we thought Kevin Love was going to come back from Minnesota Timberwolves.
Baby, what you mean?
He got on his Minnesota Timberwolves jersey now.
30 for 30. What you mean?
Giving you 20 and 20. I've seen enough of this, Miami. Go ahead and wrap it up. Make it to the playoffs. Don't let nobody get hurt. And blow it up. My God, blow it up.
Hey, what was the report about Udonis Haslem saying something? What did he say? It was something.
He coming back next season. I'll be back.
I feel like this one, it's just trolling Sheedy. They just trolling him. That's all that it is.
No. He got passion for the game. He still got it.
Let me conserve myself.
Every team need a veteran.
Yes. Yes, and you know what? We have Caron Butler. You know what he does? He wears a fucking polo. So give Udonis Haslem a polo, and let's move on. It's a roster spot. We need bigs, and here he is taking up. The man has recorded a half a point a game, a rebound a game. Look it up. We're paying him $3 million for what?
That's chump change, though. That's chump change.
Oh, Max Strus is making $1 million.
Hey, yo.
Yurt's making $1 million.
Bro.
2 players giving more. Yurt's giving me more, and he's hurt.
Hey, I just Googled Udonis Haslem stats. His last 10 games is just zeros all across the board.
Zeros. And we didn't talk about and we're paying him for it. $3 million.
Oh my God.
Terrible.
Hey.
Terrible. What is he doing?
He averaging 0.5 points, 1.3 rebounds. So he getting a board. When he get in, he get him a rebound.
Board. Not boards.
He's played 6 games. Okay, so timeout. In the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I'm gonna do math real quick. So since 2016, and those who watching the show is over right now. We just on a complete tangent right now.
That shit ain't over yet.
So 16. So this is 2016. So since 2016, 16 plus 14 is 30. 30 plus 10 is 40. 40 plus 4 is 44. 44 plus 1 is 45. 45 plus 13 is what? 58.
58.
And 6 this year is 64. Since 2016, this man has touched the court 64 times. Not even the full season. Not even the full season.
I think he retired at 100.
No, don't do that.
64 games in 7 years.
And you know that one season that you're talking about, he played one game. That was the time he got checked.
He came in for the yeah.
And right back out and bounced. 82 games in that season. He came in for those 3 minutes.
For 3 minutes, 4 points, 1. He got a rebound. He good
for He's good for He wants to buy a vowel. He bought a vowel for rebound. He gonna get you one.
God.
But damn. I'm so sick and tired of it. Please.
Hey, hold on. Again, we on a tangent, y'all. I just gotta see when the last time Udonis Haslem started a game. That's all I want to know.
The bad part is it's been like recent within the past 7 years.
We're probably still in high school.
Okay, the last time he started a game.
He
started one this year? He started a game this year,
yes.
Bro.
Stop, man. Let's go.
He started a game this year.
He probably played 11 minutes.
He started one game this year. What game? Why did okay, you know what? I'm sorry, CD. I know I'm opening up a wound right now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, man.
It's okay.
That's what that is for.
Charlie said KD with the big shot.
Come on, man.
I ain't seen
Come on, that's why he there.
I'm gonna assume the Suns are winning their game, but all right, yeah, let's get out of here, man.
That's why he's there.
That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
The GOAT. And I mean that. You know, that's just how.
All right, so we'll be back next week, y'all. Sheedy, I'm praying
without Udonis Haslam, yes.
Or maybe with Udonis Haslam, we don't know.
He needs his minutes, don't he? I guess so.
All right, y'all. Stay safe. Be blessed. Peace.